Welcome back, everyone, to another halftime show segment of the newly duo game. We got to see earlier on Cubby actually do pretty well answering questions about Magical, besides when Magical was throwing. No, 3 out of 5.
No, you got the last one wrong.
I don't think that count. But now we're gonna swap it up. Magical, you're gonna be answering questions about Cubby, all right?
Okay.
As always, it's gonna be about these teams and these players, okay?
Got it.
First off, Cubby's favorite player from these two teams.
Insanity.
You didn't even give me time to write.
Yeah, you take too long.
Magical, please. It's the end of a long day. Please, Magical. Just behave for
I was told
once.
to go fast. I go fast.
Behave for 5 minutes.
That wasn't it.
Oh, all right.
Faisal? All right.
Faisal is very slept on. That is
that's good.
Honestly,
That's
facts.
That's what I have to say about Faisal.
I agree. I like that
All
one.
right. Next question. Which team is going to be, in Cubby's opinion, which team is going to be the first to 2-0 Dignitas?
Oh, I have to look at the rest of their schedule.
Well, yeah, that's like I got to do that too.
Okay, so Dignitas has yet to face Under Thieves, AoE, Fly C, Golden Guardians, IMT, TLF, Wildcard.
Ooh, man, that's
Who's
hard.
going to 2-0 Dig?
I know.
Like, most likely
Does
to
there
2-0,
have to be an answer?
I wrote
what
down
is-
an answer.
Yeah, what is
Okay.
most likely? All right. Magical, what's your guess?
I'm going to go with 100.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like
Nice.
that was a pretty easy one. All right.
I don't know. Wildcard. Well, GG's been playing all right. Fly C got 2-0 today by EG, but, they go next.
Or a couple, they were a
Dignitas
couple.
just decimated Fear, who has been our top professional team so far. So I don't know. Dignitas kind of destroying people out here. But going on next. Which player could carry their entire team if the other 4 people were just inting? They're that good that they could still
In
carry
this
on
game?
through.
Yeah, it's got to be in this game.
Between these two teams.
Oh, man. This one's actually... There's a couple good choices in this one. I will say.
There's one choice that I've written down, though.
Yeah, there's one choice that he's written down, but there's a couple. I'm not going to say which one it is yet, but Faisal is a good candidate, depending on if he has his Olaf.
I watched him carry a lot of EGP last year.
Right, that's all that's all I was saying. He's definitely a good option. Insanity is another one, especially when you think back to last finals and how they got there. A lot of it was off the back of Insanity. Tomo would be another example, especially when he's playing really well. I'm gonna go with Insanity.
Correct.
Hey,
Yep.
yo. Okay.
Tomo was very close though.
All right. Next up. See how well you really know Cubby here.
Also, does my handwriting suck?
It does.
I mean, it's not
Not
handwriting.
good.
You're just
Not-
using a mouse.
My handwriting is better than this, but it's not much better.
All right. Next question. How does Cubby drink his coffee? You know that he has multiple during every cast.
I don't pay attention because I hate coffee.
You're about to say that you hate Cubby.
Oh, no. I hate coffee. I tolerate Cubby.
Hold on. We're going to try and find some color representation for how I like my coffee.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Okay.
That's a lot of hints there, Magical.
That was a
don't know
major hint. That was a massive hint.
All right.
I know nothing of coffee. Nothing.
Are you...
I've tried it
All right.
twice in my life and hated it both times.
Crazy. You need better coffee. All right. Have you got your answer written down?
I do. I'm trying to draw it down.
Okay,
All right,
the only thing I can think of with coffee is drinking it black, so I'm just gonna go with that.
We put a little bit of sugar-free cream in there,
Okay,
you know?
okay.
A little bit of sugar.
Just a wee bit. I'm not going to show you the bottom of my mug because it's the second cup and it's kind of gross. And also there are grounds in there because I do it French press, which is very cultured.
No,
that's
nothing of what this means.
good
All
coffee
this goes
technique.
right over my head, just
Very
so you know.
cultured.
All right. Last question, but before there's an answer, I'm going to disappear so you two can do giraffe, but I'm still expecting an answer. Cubby's favorite person to work with. I'm going to leave, and I'll let you guys fight about that.
That's not me.
Who is it?
Have fun.
I'm gonna go with Rafa.
I just heard Rafa scream through my wall. If it's not me, I swear to God.
I'm glad I got to be here for that one. I'm not gonna lie.
I just said it too. Oh my God.
So therefore, it's Sierra.
Hey!
Rafa's gonna come over here and fight me. Oh my God, he's gonna fly out to Canada.
I think the odds of him going to my room are a lot higher than going to Canada. You know.
All right, I'm getting out of a fight. I'm leaving right now. I'll catch you two later.
All right. Well, I called it. I figured. You having a rave?
No, I'm having a roommate who's frustrated with my choices.
Hey, tell Mark I was on your side, just so you know. So, you know, the play-by-play's got to stick together.
Easy choice.
Plus, I also know that nobody should put me in their choice of favorite person to work with, because I'll just make fun of them the whole time, so.
No, I think you're fine to work with, Magical. And the best part about working with you is that I can make fun of you as well. So
okay,
we're gonna see what happens in this draft.
Touche. I'll give you that one. Touche on that one. But yes, let's get into this draft.
We're gonna turn to the draft and see if we have a change of thoughts or strategies coming out of Cincinnati Fear. As I gotta say, we are on the same side as we were last game. I expect a different draft. I don't think we're gonna see Lucian Nami taken 1-2.
No, I don't think so either, especially because Tomo Diamond do like to play Zeri Lulu. So instead, they're the ones who will take away Zeri, deny Tomo to have that. But then Tomo Diamond are more than comfortable playing the Lucian Nami side of this. So I'm not expecting anything different except for the sides that we have the bot lanes on.
My God, we really are LCK drafting here. As now, do we see the Maokai or do we are seeing Maokai? I saw the handshake and I turned my brain off. Lulu.
Of course we're seeing it. It would. What?
Lulu.
Have you not been paying attention to any draft this year? Of course we're not going to see any difference.
No, this goes back to like the tweet I had at like the very start of the year, where it was like how it feels to like predict draft versus like how I feel, because like every draft's like so linear, but like, you know, you still feel kind of Gigabrand when you call a draft.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. Nothing to brag about here, though, as we've actually never seen this before, Mad Magical. Definitely didn't see it in the last game either. That is somewhat true, as the Zeri Lulu have swapped places with the Lucian Nami.
We also see a Nazir banned by Fear instead of them taking it. The Jack's still open.
Of you.
Yes, again.
What a nice wrinkle that you throw into our LCK drafting here, Mad Magical.
Look, I have the notebook in front of me. I might as well talk about what I wrote.
Very cultured coming out of Cincinnati Fears. We actually have a slight amendment to our handshake drafts. With Jace taken away now as well. We will have to see.
This is where you got to get the coffee cup, the pinkies out, you know?
That's good
oh,
call.
yes, quite.
Yes, we have our LCK drafts. Very good.
Very, very good. Yeah. As you can see, you know, just solo lanes. Nothing too surprising.
I did get a piece of the grounds there on that one. Very nice.
Jack's still open. I have honey because I'm drinking tea. So.
We actually have two of the counters bond. On the side of Fierce, so we're gonna strong pick the Renekton, and now we expect to see a Jax coming through here for Dignitas Challenges.
As I would expect. Maybe Hoon wants to be really spicy and pick Fiora, but, you know, I think you're right on the Jax pick.
I will say for Faisal, this is the first time that he has played Renekton so far this season, so more wrinkles being thrown into our culture draft.
Don't forget about Silas. Yes, quite.
Well, actually, hold on, Silas. Do we have a Rise now for Shochi? We could go Renekton Rise.
I think so. Sounds quite right.
Might be
quite right.
Yes.
And let's see. What does Hoon want?
Hoon wants what he wants. It's Hoon in time, baby. Take the Jocks in the top side. Make sure that our draft is nice and sound. Oh, we could go Nah. The Nah is an option. Nah is good. Ooh, yes, we switch it up. Ooh, we have a Nah.
Quite.
Nah versus Renekton. Quite the handshake that we have, yes. Now, do we see the Rise?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so as well. What else?
Maybe Cassiopeia?
No Cass. Not against Lucian Nami. Come on, no Cass. Pick the Rise, yes, very much. Thank you.
To Leah. Oh, yes.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, what a bit of a switch.
Yes.
Yes, very intriguing. All right, I think we're going to be done with this bit. Maybe talk about the draft.
All right, let's talk about what happened. I mean, a little bit of variance with Gnar, like you talked about for Hoon, Sochi on Talia, but ultimately it feels like it's doing the same things that we're talking about with the other champions.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I do like about Talia here is that you at least make life a little bit difficult for the front line of Dignitas, and it is really good peel for this area. But the question for me is Sejuani Maokai going to be enough? And do we maybe see a Radiant Virtue rush from the Maokai? Because again, I think that staying alive for Zeri is a lot more valuable than actually having the magic damage on some of those saplings. So we will see. But I am a little bit concerned about the mid game for Fear. As Fear, of course, taking the Zeri Lulu side, I do want to see if they can win out this lane the way that Dignitas was able to win out the lane in the last game.
I feel like Cincinnati Fear have a bit more windows than they did last time in the early game. Last time, it was really difficult, especially once you fall behind.
Game was over at 5.
It was over at 5. But this game, I feel like
was.
even if something similar happens in this game, you have elements to claw back in. It's a lot easier to find some sort of path back. Not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but this could actually be a big one. You're looking for Hoon, who doesn't realize that everyone is there, holds onto the flash that entire time, so well done. Respect out of Hoon. He puts on the B mode, he'll just back and be able to walk back to lane.
Yes, he's fine. Indubitably.
Indeed.
All right, I'm actually done with this. But
you're the one who started it, not me.
Yeah, I know. I had to switch things up and be the one that was out of pocket here, my magical. Speaking of switching things up, looks like Dignitas' performance in the last game was convincing enough for 10% of the Fear fans to go vote for them this time around. It's changing. Okay, maybe the performance is a little bit better here outside the Dig. They do have a nice scouting award, which will not spot where Perry starts, but will spot where he crosses. It's going to be a bot side start for each of our junglers here. Tells me that the fight on the top side could be important.
Oh man, there's a wave of Dignitas right there.
Yeah. So part of the punishment now that Dig, I like when Zeri Lulu starts in lane, because usually when you 5-man bot, if Zeri Lulu can start in lane, you actually force Lucian Nami to walk in with the wave. But now they were able to walk in before the wave, actually get a little bit of poke down. Poke more valuable when you have the sustain. As, you know, Diamond can heal people up. That's a really nice double tidal wave here, and Trevor's in trouble already.
This is what we were talking about. Doesn't matter what side of it you're on, but Manui getting the flash out of Tomo is going to be the saving grace that keeps not only Trevor alive, but also could get them back in the state. But like you talked about, the lane state is favoring Dignitas Challengers.
Yeah, and this is that level 1 from Fear, like trying to prio the top side and get something out of Hoon. That's that coming back to bite them, as XU is actually 2 camped, and they might look to dive bot with a flash being down on Manui and no heal. They're still level 1. XU is looking for camps. He's not going to actually pull off the dive.
That's a nice sapling that will stop it.
Yeah.
Even if they try to do it, they'd give them enough information that they could kite back before Tomo and Diamond could get there, since the minion wave was not nearly large enough needed to dive.
Oh, that being said, I mean, still really well played by Dig, who have won both sides of this lane in the mirror matchup. Again, I think the level 1 for Fear did have a big impact on how this bot lane is played out, but still, it really speaks to the laning prowess that we've seen out of Dignitas, especially this bot lane. It's how they're creating their leads early and winning most of their games. So great to see that happen again in this one.
Constantly battling. This meta right now just seems to favor Tomo Diamond. Like you talked about, both sides of the matchup, they just are so well at piloting, knowing the exact limits they can go for when they try to go for the poke to force down Manui. And now XU is here.
Here we go.
And there's no sapling to spot him out. You know this is happening.
Wow.
Without the flash on Manui, he is dead to rights, and that's why you have to abandon him if you're Trevor.
I mean, XU checked the Gromp, went back to his Raptors, and then came back bot lane. Yep. And Dignitas were still able to cash that in significantly. So again, this bot lane priority for Dig, it's how they've been building so many leads at the early stages of this season, and they continue to be successful with it now as the bot lane of Fear, again, even on the other side of the mirror matchup, having troubles. And Fear, they don't have an answer on the Rift so far to what Dignitas has been thrown at them.
Now, this is why I would have even liked to see Perry look for an early play into the spot lane, because this is exactly what we expected. It worked last time. Why not do it again if you're Dignitas Challengers? Even if it's different champions, it's the same play and the same power from Tomo and Diamond.
Now, Perry does have the camp advantage and does have level 4. So Hoon, he just hit Mini And you see Perry, he's prepping this with one sapling.
Waiting
Goon
it out.
is a little skeptical of it.
Nice.
Nice, hold on. That could be
away.
trouble. That could be trouble. That could be trouble. Could be trouble. Could be trouble.
That's big trouble because Perry has to flash. He
took aggro because the sapling.
No. Oh,
The sapling.
that sapling! It betrayed Perry, almost getting him killed as Hoon could chase that down, but another sapling denies that. That could have been very bad had Perry fallen.
Yeah, I mean, Perry going to the minion, maybe he was thinking to, like, his Q could cancel Hoon mid-bounce, but a nice hover from Xu. They get the flash out of Perry, so it's a flash-for-flash trade with junglers. And while all that's going on with each of our junglers spotted on the top side, Dignitas, again, look at how they're playing out this bot lane. They have a freeze on Manui, who can't even approach, and Trevor off-camera was forced back, and the items are still so dire in favor of Dignitas, so this bot lane continues to be the 2v2 that we've really had our eyes on here in Challengers, as Tomo and Diamond have been so dominant.
Nobody seems to compare against them anymore. And this is where I like to harken back to the story these players have had together. They have played, I think, now 4 years together as a duo in the Academy circuit, where they won initially 2 splits in a row, having just formed together back on Cloud9. That's a reason why they were picked up for FlyQuest as a duo, was for their power. They had that slump last year that we saw from both of them. Not nearly that domination that we had seen from them previously. But now it seems like they are back into that form that we are accustomed to them before 2022.
I mean, Perry, double control ward, double sapling, the freeze is still here, and Xu was just able to fully clear his jungle, so now he's ahead of the Malachite camps. Perry had to hover, felt like he had to hover there in case Xu came. Because if bot lane dies again with a wave in that state, this game's over. But the fact that no plays went down there and no freeze was broken, I mean, this game still does feel pretty over for at least Trevor and Manui, as they are bleeding out. We have another base coming out of Manui as he can't get anything done. It looks like finally Dignitas are trying to shove that wave back in the face of fear.
This takes our attention now to Perry and Shochi and how they can move around the map together. You get it to Leah for your access to roam, how you move around, especially with your jungler. But Perry, he's only level 5. You need that level 6 if you really want to lock down such a mobile carry like Tomo.
And it is key with the slow push. I gotta say, Dignitas, they aren't getting anything out of it. In the sense, like, they aren't pulling off a dive and they aren't able to do the dragon. So the fact that Fear can pick this up with no punishment, it does feel really nice for them. Oh, -1. That's good for Fear, you know? You gotta take everything you can get at this point.
Okay, look, you're acting like the game is fully over. There's only been 1 kill.
It's not fully over. It's just when I look bot and I see Lucian Nami with a 30 CS lead, I think the game's not good. Well, let's put it that way.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one, but let's look at the bright things. Let's look at top lane. Faisal, he's getting a good lead. Oh, though Manui didn't want to dash forward because you just see that damage that can come in from both Tomo Diamond whenever you misstep.
And the thing about Lucian Nami, too, is that, I mean, once you get behind, again, the Nami has the healing. The Lulu does not. So any trade you take over time goes better for the side of Dig. As Trevor, he's actually here on his lonesome, and it's going to be another play going over to
that
them
was
solo.
another reset that Manui had to take. Oh,
yeah.
You gotta send the emergency troops down bot lane soon, because this... If you don't help this out soon, this bleeding is going to turn into an amputation where this bot lane is going to be meaningless.
I mean, that's already kind of happening, and we'll see what Dignitas decides to do with this reset from their bot lane, because Herald is up, and wherever Lucian Nami goes, we'll be winning for the side of Dig. So it does look like Tomo at least is going to go maybe towards the bot side again, but we can see the Nami rotating on up, and Tomo, oh, look at his inventory. Jeez.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's not great.
No. Positive. Think positively. It's Valentine's Day weekend. We gotta be wholesome here.
They're about to throw Sejuani ult at Perry because they love him.
Well, it's going to be Kochi, and he cleanses it
Kochi
immediately with the knockback, too. They've got so much damage. They kill Xu, and Cincinnati couldn't get it. He's locked down, and they've got the damage. Guess who's back in the game?
Fear's back, baby. Tomo was here, but with no ult. Dignitas, they played a little bit too quick. I think they were looking for the Maokai on the Sejuani ult, but it actually went and hit Shochi, who had cleanse, so he was able to get out, turn the play. Well done by the side of Shochi and Fear.
And they're back in the game. Gold is even. You got to take a look at this play. And as you said, Chochi having swapped out for Cleanse is the perfect target that Fear wants to have hit with that.
I mean, you hit Trevor, it's great. You hit Perry, it's fine. But no, you hit Shochi, it's a Cleanse, and he's able to turn it instantly.
And that damage you have, where sure it's not the roam out of Shochi, but the zone control you have with Talia, especially with everyone who wants to move around a fight that Dignitas Challengers have drafted. It's a perfect fight that get them something back on the map that's not necessarily just hemorrhaging out, but still this bot lane is still in a bad straits in this fight that you have to continue to pour more resources into to overcome Tomo.
I mean, that still is the start that Fear needed to mount some form of making this a competitive series. As Manui, importantly, got a kill to his own name. Might help him get back in this game a little bit, but as you pointed out, my Magical, even talking about how this bot lane lead can bleed elsewhere, it's at least going to bleed into a dragon first in favor of Dignitas.
So it's going to be a trade. Neutral objectives, 1-for-1. I'd like to see Fear and how they utilize this Rift Herald, especially, again, around bot lane. Any resources, anything you can put, a drop in the bucket will help out Manui, where you can get those items to fight back against Tomo, who's already got the Serrated Dirk, the Noon Quiver as well, and probably sitting on a lot more gold, too, that he could spend momentarily just as long as he gets one more shove, because by themselves, they've gotten three plates in bot lane.
Yeah, we'll see where Perry decides to throw this. I do real quick just want to praise Faisal. Oh, hold on. Oh, Perry.
That was a long journey. Has to use the ult. Does get locked up for a little bit of time. That's going to be the ult use as well. But nice Wild Growth and knock back with the Wild Growth stolen away by Insanity. He's got to be careful because here's Tomo with the damage onto Shochi to look to chase that down. The flash away from Barry, but the flash coming in from Tomo and using the Twisted Advance. Is it enough? And they can try to save him. XU survives.
The Wild Growth from Insanity. He took it for himself to try and follow up, but he got stunned by the rocks. Instead, was able to use it to save his jungler as Dignitas went out on the skirmish. And what I was gonna say before that is, the top side's been fine for Fear and Faisal. Like, he has 2 plates off the Gnar. That's pretty good, about what's expected in this matchup. So maybe we could see Perry throw the Rift Herald down there, but instead Perry, he looks for the skirmish. And it goes the way of Dignitas thanks to some really good play, I think, coming out of Insanity. And XU with the commit, knowing he had the Wild Growth, too. Well done.
Well done. Netting some gold back for themselves. Spreading that out from just the bot lane, even though having Tomo completely fed is a great place to be in at the moment. But you'd like to see that now that Insanity has gotten that recall off. He's got his Mythic completed. Rod of Age is soon to start stacking up and give more health and more damage over time.
And we will see as Fears, they do have push mid, and they're going to beat Tomo to the top side. But XU Diamond have been able to play decent defense. And will be a Rift thrown down here, so plates over to Manui, if this is able to connect, which it should. So again, Fear, as you teased out, Mad Magical, trying to get some resources in this area. Unfortunately, looks like...
It is good. Manui did get some.
Okay. It was close. It was close.
It was very close. I was watching that as well to see where the gold would go. Now Insanity finds Chochi mid lane. Having Ghost on the other side, missing the big rock. Just a bit of a skirmish back and forth.
Yeah, forced the cannon out of Talia too, so I like that from Insanity. As at this point in the matchup, I did say, Faisal got 2 plates off the Gnar. That's pretty good, but once Gnar gets Triforce, it becomes way too slippery for the Renekton in this matchup. We will see if Faisal... if he's up to the task of Hoon's Gnar, which again is pretty good, but they want to hand some praise over to Faisal, who I still believe is a really strong player actually in this league. Definitely someone that I thought was going to be on a Challengers team going into this year. And to be fair, all he's done with the rest of this team is prove Challengers teams that they missed out. It's been a big part of the success and record that Fear has so far this split, and having a decent game in this one.
And this game is much more of a showcase that Fear can put on. It's a closer game here at 14 minutes. Gold neck and neck between the two squads. And having more that you can do on the map to impact everything and not just have to roll over, right? Like we saw in the last game. This is where we can see the power that Fear has as a Challenger team that's taken down, a professional team that's taken down Challenger teams. Manui is the one who suffered the most of it, and they continue to look to punish this bot lane as much as humanly possible.
I mean, it's all about trying to keep this Zeri down, which, to be fair, Dignitas and Tomo have done a very good job of. And that's starting to bleed elsewhere. Like, Silas Nar going to feel good later, but oh, Shoshi.
Okay,
Oh,
Tomo was
good
able
Gale
to dash
Force.
away.
Good Gale Force by Tomo. Takes away any opportunity for a player even getting a Summoner Spell out of Diamond. And instead, just going to be more good things going on here for the side of Dig. You can see Hoon starting to win this side lane too.
It's a hard matchup, as you said, once you scale up more into the game. The Croc can get kited out really easily, even if he hasn't completed that Triforce just yet. He's got the makings of it that make it really difficult, but now we see the top side. That parry gets locked down forever. Trying to get the Wild Growth to survive. He's got a lot of damage on Tomo as well, but Chochi is on the other side. He's still trying to rotate up to the top lane in order to answer what is essentially going to boil over into a Rift Herald play if Dignitas stay around, but they're not.
Nah, they're going to reset now and try and go for the drag. Because they forced Fear back, and now if Dig resets, they match, and they still feel like they're stronger at this point of the game, especially with Insanity finding a nice force here out of Shochi. Going to get the Talia low, and Talia doesn't have TP, so that should be enough to make sure this dragon does go in favor of Dignitas.
Yeah, look at them all booking it. Even though Fear also on the trek down to this bottom quadrant of the map, as you said, it's going to be more power from Dignitas Challengers to exert over the neutral objective.
Yeah, and again, Fear, I mean, it's a 1.5k gold lead. Like, on the scoreboard, that's doable. When you look at all the resources really being in Tomo on this Lucian, and how much power Lucian brings to this stage of the game, see the mandates finished, too, for Diamond. I mean, it is really tricky for Fear to get out on the map, because whenever this empowered culling is going to be up, Tomo's going to be fishing for chunks on Manui and chunks on the rest of Fear. He's about to have the cooldown up. We'll see if he uses it in mid to try and take away a lot of the health bar, as Dignitas really want to set up for this dragon. Now, Fear is here to answer as well, so we will see if it could bleed into a team fight and how Fear can play that.
At the moment, Dignitas Challengers are the ones with the control over the river. Fear forced into mid lane with the stolen ult on a parry. That is a huge one that should force the hands of Cincinnati here, even though you have Tomo, essentially the one they tried to engage with the backline, getting the exhaust on XEO.
Oh,
now
Tomo.
They've got
No.
but he's still alive. Tomo kiting it again. How does he keep doing it game to game? Kiting away, never getting touched in these fights.
Tomo had the cleanse flash to get out of the Maokai combo, got him out of the ult as well. I thought Perry had the find, but Tomo's reaction was beautiful, and it makes sure that the fake fight goes in Dignitas' favor.
And they threw everything at getting Tomo. Everything possible, and yet still fell short. Fear, it was tragic in that fight, but this is why Dignitas Challengers are our top team and why we keep praising the bot lane of Tomo Diamond.
Oh, look at this reaction here from Tomo in the fight again. If I saw, like, he just trades flash for cleanse dash. Not bad. But the reaction here from Tomo on the flash, it gets him out of the Maokai route. So here goes Perry. He flashes, gets out of the combo from Talia, gets to a back half of the route, and that totally changes the fight to make sure it goes in favor of Dig. Hoon has a really nice Mega R2 to make sure that Tomo can clean up the rest. In that fight, I mean, it was kind of close for Fear, but I think Tomo still, if you can't take him down, he's way too big, and we saw it in that fight.
If Tomo dies, I think the fight is completely different, even with the massive Gnar ult from Hoon. There's so much damage slung out by Lucian during that entire time, and we're seeing it boil over again, where nobody can do anything to stop Tomo. Now he's got all his summoners down. Now is the time to strike, but you're falling far behind if you're Cincinnati Fear.
This was the concern of why, like, again, why bot lane was going so wayward, because when you do play the Zeri, like, you want to get Zeri ahead of the item curve, because if Zeri gets ahead, she does enough damage to really pack damage for your whole team, right? If she doesn't go down to the first round of cooldowns, Zeri can carry these fights through. But when Zeri is, you know, down in levels, down in CS, you know, is late on the items, she's a full item behind of the Lucian right now. It's really tough to get out on the map and have an impact, and Dignitas taking full advantage of that.
This looks like, even if it's more delayed than the previous game, same story, where Dignitas Challengers gain these leads, they snowball them out of control, suffocating their opponents. 20 minutes into the game, a 3,000 gold lead isn't that much to really worry about, but when so much of it is on Tomo, you can see how his itemization is far above the curve of everyone else on the Rift. you're not going to be able to do anything. Look at the damage coming in from the calling. Even with Trevor using Wild Growth, he nearly died, but this could be Faisal's time to turn it around. And he does! Faisal makes sure that he chomps down on the carry so the rest of the team can turn on Dignitas Challengers.
Faisal, he was the one that was having really the only lane that was going well for Fear. You know, like wasn't being down. He steps up huge, takes down Tomo, gets that shutdown on the Renekton, and gets Fear something, as that's the best play we've seen out of Fear in these 2 games.
Something. He gets them everything in that. Not only does Trevor survive, the shutdown they got off Tomo, taking down the tier 1 structure. This game, the gold is neck and neck. It's back between 1,000.
As long as that gold's not on Zarya, I still favor Dignitas, given the setup, but that is big, and Faisal does have that cleaver wrapped up. It will help with Manui's damage. Okay. Good replay. I'm going to have faith that Insanity got out of that one, but let's take another look as Diamond, he just fishes and finds a bubble here on the side. Hits the combo, gets a cleanse out of Manui. That's great follow-up, but again, cleanse, not only does it get you out of the first CC, it actually decreases how much the other ones hold you down, and Faisal, again, Tomo, no sums still. So Dignitas taking this fight while Tomo had no sums. Actually, being pretty far behind. That was a winning fight for Fear, as Dignitas overextended a little bit.
Overextending, giving gold. Yeah, you would like that to be on Manui, but he did get a kill. Took down XU. So you're getting some gold, even if it's pittance. Back from Manui. You're slowly getting this Zeri in a position where she is a champion yet again.
But with that being said, Fear, oh boy, hold on. It's a nice chunk out of Insanity. And I mean, Fear, they're still the ones on the back foot is what I was getting at, is Dignitas to use their pressure to take that top inner turret and will fully reset as a team to set up for this dragon, which is sole point for them, as we have the gates on the map. It's the Hextech Rift. See if Dig can make good use of that.
Gotta agree with Hawk on that one. How many more bot lanes do Tomo and Diamond need to destroy until they get promoted? Kind of fair right now. This is looking like it's the resurgence tour of Tomo Diamond. Even if it's not the reunion tour, because they've been together this entire time, they're looking like their dominant selves, like when they were at their prime years ago.
I mean, oh, hold on.
Okay, they look for Parry. Parry gets wild throw. The XU taking a lot of damage, and Insanity wants to get into the pit as Faisal was trying to get on top of Tomo, but this time they're making sure to get better spacing for Tomo so nobody can kill him. This allows them to now turn towards the dragon that spawns in 10 seconds.
A lot of ults were used there, but Hoon's about to have Mega Pop, and also Insanity's about to have Hijack back up and can get the Maokai ult in this fight. It's really big for the Silas, so I feel like this dragon's going to be seeded over the Dignitas as we see Fear resetting. Faisal will 2P back. This dragon's going to go down, though, most likely before Fear can get involved, so we'll see if Shochi pops an ult maybe to cut everyone off, and that's the only way they're going to be able to contest.
Parry diving in. Nora ulted into the wall. Hasn't even used the ult. Tries to use it back, but takes a lot of damage and dies before the rest of the team can even show up to try to save them. As Shochi walloped into the ground with Faisal cutting off the fight. That Insanity wanted to get on a Manui as Tomo has found Shochi and Trevor by themselves. And he's got the damage. Tomo, he gets the flash out of Shochi. He's got to be careful of all those rocks coming in from Shochi. And now they're caught up. Manui dives in, but he doesn't have the damage. Or does he? He gets the shutdown onto Tomo. But there's 4 members still alive for Dignitas Challengers. One of them being Insanity. So a double kill for XU. The dragon on the docket. You know what they want.
Kind of a crazy fight, because Parry kind of threw himself in there, knowing that like they didn't have vision on the dragon. So he went in real early as we're going to take a second look. I mean, you're taking a W onto a Mega Gnar. The only way you're doing that is if you're trying to steal the objective. So Parry goes down for free. The Root catches the Talia as well. And it's a pretty split fight here for Fear. I got to say, some props to Manui. Him going over the wall here gets down a lot of damage and kind of splits the fight. And Tomo, he double tapped the ward. So if he doesn't do that, I think he might be able to get out of here with at least Sochi. That's not the case. And Manui goes to clean him up in the back half with Faisal. So honestly, well done by Fear. A couple mistakes there from Dignitas. They still come out on top of the fight. But if that's played out cleaner, I think Tomo gets out clean.
Giving more gold over to Manui. Slowly but surely getting back into this game. Second item completed out of Zeri. We're at a point now. This is, I'd say, very well in the wheelhouse of Cincinnati Fear, dragging back and finding a fight that wins them the game, even though it is Dignitas Challengers firmly in control of the reins of the vehicle.
And I want to hit on the point that you were making earlier, because it's something that we really haven't talked about with this Dig squad. I think a lot of it's, like, you know, given the names that we have on the Dig LCS squad. But Dig's LCS team is 0-6. This is the top team that we have in Challengers. And Tomo and Diamond, like what Hawk mentioned, they have been busting down the doors of every bot lane, and I gotta pause.
Perry. Faisal had to absorb a lot of
Perry's
the calling
down.
as Perry. Is he?
Oh, no.
He will eventually die. No, he will eventually fall.
He's on the wrong side of the map.
He's on the wrong side. He's just buying a lot of time for it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Agent P, Perry escapes.
He opens the gates, baby. So what I was getting at, though, you know, the fact that Dignitas' Challengers team, who also, a lot of these players have LCS experience. Everyone has played on that stage at some point in their career. Do we see a swap? Any changes? I mean, it is worth mentioning. Wait, what? Combo? Well, that's a caster curse.
That is. That is.
All right. Well, we can't be doing that if we're going to try and advocate for some changes. But either way, Fear.
All right, Hoon.
Chochi.
Sidestep's nice. Good sidestep. Faisal still wants the fight, but now Insanity's here. That is dangerous, even with the Dominus Pop trying to heal up with the call of the Meek. Not enough. Shutdown gifted over to Hoon. And Shochi has to run.
Nice answer back from Insanity. As, again, Fear. Everything's going to come down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds from now, Matt Magical. I know Baron's on the table, but with the Lucian comp, you got to think it's all about the dragons. Oh, with that being said, actually, that's a big TP coming out from Hoon. Do they look for Baron on this wave?
I think they do.
We have the ports for Lucian.
They've got everyone already rotating. Look at Insanity. Look at Tomo. They're already on their way towards the pit.
Faisal does have TP up when he spawns, but that's 15 seconds away. So they have started this. They're going to brute force. Fear. They have some tools to respond. There's no ult, importantly, from Shochi and Perry.
But it's going to be all that attention on to Perry, trying to dodge away again.
Good
surviving. Somehow, Perry is dodging away from everything, even when it looks dire.
It's not somehow. It's the fact that he's buffering Sejuani's ult with Nature's Grasp. He's getting that out before all these Glacial Prisons connect. Like we've seen in this matchup, Sejuani really does try to pick Maokai. Perry's making that a lot harder by getting that ult off before the prison connects. So well done from Perry. It saved his life twice now.
Well, yeah, twice just in the last, 3-4 minutes? And look at the build path Perry's gone for. This is not your demonic embrace Maokai. This is your frontline tank Maokai. Anathema's change more than likely placed down on Tomo.
Well, when to be fair, man, Magical, I might have called that one out in the draft. You know,
You did? No. Hey,
maybe. Yeah.
Props to you. I will say here on broadcast, Cubby definitely called this out.
I appreciate the Valentine's Day love, coming through. With that said, the Dignitas, they've been loving those dragons today as they're going to try and secure their soul. It's up in 1 minute, and they have complete control over this objective, making things very difficult for Fear, who are still fixing their lanes elsewhere. And this is going to be a play.
Using Cleanse and getting the pick onto Trevor, too.
Oh, boy.
That's a tidal wave used. Flash away from Diamond as they look for Faisal as well. There's no survive. Or is there? Again, how do these members of Fear keep living? With one going golden, they've got the stopwatch, but the damage back on Insanity with the twisted advance. They got to be so careful. Throwing away all. Gonna get the root, and it's all the flash. What a play! That completely annihilates Cincinnati Fear. Well, Faisal 1v4 tries to take one back, but could not chomp down on the meat.
Insanity played the start of that fight so well to drag Perry back into the team, bought so much space for the Nature's Grasp, and all that space was for Hoon to have his Hoonin moment. As that Meganar broke the game in favor of Dignitas. That will be Baron. Dragon is on the table. I gotta say, I think that Fear needs to commit the TP from Shochi to try and take the Dragon away from Dignitas, because if that's Hextech Soul, that is the game.
Trevor. I was hoping he'd go for the YOLO Glitterlands.
Okay, so Tomo blows up Trevor. These guys are caught sleeping. We cannot be showing on that mid wave. We have no control. We got to be hovering the top side. Now, Faisal lives here. That's very key because it almost turns things around in the back half. But watch how Insanity plays this. Goes golden. He's going to hop back, get stunned, actually drag Perry all the way back in, take his ult, throw it out. That's all the space that Dignitas needs to kite things out. And for Hoon to get here and end the fight as the Meganar scoops all three. Manui has to flash. Well played by Manui, but I mean, the fight it was too little too late here. As Tomo does trade himself out to take down this area. I do think at this point of the game that is worth. And on live, that is Tex Stole over to Dignitas. And this second game, we do have to hand it to Fear. It's been a lot closer. It's been a lot more competitive. But it is still our top dogs who continue to cement themselves as the best team that we have in Challengers.
Couple mistakes for them along the way, but once they gain firm control, you see how clean they are. Hoon is Hoon in moments. This is such a glow up too from this player from last year to this year, and how a lot of people kind of looked at him as being one of the weak links of Dignitas, even when he played up briefly in the LCS. Now he is not looking like that. The Hoonan times are here. 2023 is his year.
The difference of having a full split, very significant. You know, not having to walk in mid-split into another country trying to settle in. We're seeing that with Hoon. Again, we know that Isnar is very good. He has been good at this game. But we will see if him and Dignitas can put together the finishing touches. I gotta say, Tex Soul does make life very hard for the side of Fear. We do expect this to be a 2-0 now in favor of Dig.
They weren't already getting kited before. Like you said, now it's going to be impossible for them to get on top of Tomo, especially with those callings. See how slow they are by Nar as well. Slowly, the burn on these towers, with the Baron still on the heads of all members of Dignitas Challengers.
And they're playing out 3 lanes too, so Shochi, if he wants to join this fight, he will have to ult. And with that Demolish proc, it's going to be the first inhibitor turret falling as Dignitas. Again, that fight, that wrapped up the game, and now Perry buffs it again.
Again, the ult comes out, but what does it matter when your base is in tatters and you can't even defend the inhibitors that are wide open bot, mid, and soon to be top?
Yeah, Perry's catching the calling too. That's the health bars taken down for Fear. You got to imagine that they gonna sack 2 inhibitors here. Insanity's doing the third solo.
The slows from the Hextech Soul. There's nothing you can do. You're trying to get away, but it's so much to overcome. Fear tried in game 2. They fought valiantly after a devastating loss in game 1. But it all comes the same. Dignitas Challengers, our top dogs in the LCS Challengers League, continue to show that no team matches them on their mountain. They are alone as gods of LCS Challengers Leagues.
Gotta say, Dignitas, you know, we did set this up as a real big test for Fear to see where they're at. Dignitas, if they were handed the test, I'd say they would have passed that one with flying colors in that 2-0. As the first game, clinical. Second game, couple nice plays from Fear made it a little bit interesting. But pound for pound, both those games fully in control of Dignitas as they put together a really nice 2-0 and push themselves to an impressive 14-2 at the halfway point of their season.
Nobody's even close to them at this point. Nobody can touch them. Even the one team that people said might be the top team in Cloud9 Challengers, they split a series 1 apiece. There's no need to worry for a long time. We'll even see if they suffer a single 0-2 this entire split with how they've been playing, Cubby.
Got to keep our eyes on them. Again, they've done nothing but show us that they're the team to beat when it comes to their play on the Rift. And I'm really excited to see them continue to put together good games. It's not, you know, just individual. It is individual smashing, but once they get the lead, how they play it out as a team is very, very good to watch. So this Challengers roster doing a great job, and we'll see if they can continue.
That we shall. We're going to toss a break so we can wrap up the show. But before we do that, Sierra will be back with an interview of the victorious Dignitas Challengers. So make sure you stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another NA Talent Update. In the spirit of Valentine's Day, we're going to be spreading a little bit of extra love this week. So we're going to start it off with Mazel as he walks us through the Challengers Safari.
Welcome to the Challengers Safari. Let's go on a journey to find the love language of the jungle. And here we have the likely duo of Sketch and Aaron, the bottom laners for CLG Faith. They find themselves in a bit of a tussle, but that synergy and love between Sketch and Aaron shows them through. And a little bit of a wombo combo. Now we see the epitome of a brotherly friendship in the wild. Svenskeren and Hanser. What love. And up here it seems we have a peaceful wolf taking his time among the trees, but what is this? He's taking the... I think... I think he's got the dog in him! I think he's got the dog in him! Oh, I'm so sorry. Caught off guard there. You know, I do love brotherly times, and seeing these two work so well together. Oh, Karen, you found yourself out, but luckily, your friend is always here. Oh, beautiful friendships and kinship in the wild. You see the more mature Winnie coming to save Darkwings. The familial bond really coming in strong and too much for Young to handle. That's true friendship.
We had some great plays on the Rift this past week, so I felt like I had to commemorate them this week with some Valentine's Day cards that you, and maybe even the players, might be able to use. My axe is thirsty. Are you?
Faisal, even though there was...
He can turn this.
He can turn this easily. Flash away. That damage! Faisal, you don't fight him! You leave him alone! You let him have his own island! Even if you send Victor down, he's gonna chase it down! Triple kill!
What did we say?
Meet me between the turrets. I know we have 2 mid. Please look bot.
Mia's probably just dead. One shot. Yep.
Oh my god. Spin to win with me, and we can let it rip.
Backline on a keel. They've got zone control though with the quick and look at Moose Hater. Look at the heroic entrance. Double knockup they needed to. And Moose Hater, he stands there menacingly.
Oh, that's a kill. He's dead.
Over the competition. Lands kiting it back as Wild Card win the...
Thanks for joining us for another week of the NA Talent Update. We hope that you enjoyed a little bit of extra love that we had for our players this week. We hope that you spread that love to everyone around you, as we'll see you next week. And until then, may your week be filled with positive gaming experiences.
Our final Verizon post-game interview for today, and we're going to talk to Insanity after that really strong 2-0 victory that we got here. Going up against Spear, I mean, Dignitas is first in the leaderboard. Spear right behind you. How are you and the team feeling about going into the matchup in particular?
I mean, going into pretty much any match, I think we're pretty confident. Today was really no different, but I don't know. It was just kind of a lot of waiting because it's a 5 p.m. match, so we're just kind of bored waiting for the game to start.
Just want to get in and out of there. Respect. So then, say that you're confident going into anything right now. And Dignitas, I mean, top of the leaderboard, the team is looking great. What do you think has really been that success that's made you this team that nobody's really taken down right now?
I think we're just really committed to learning as a team and actually like focusing in our practice. Obviously, we have a lot of fun in it too, and we're kind of troll, but I feel like everybody here really wants to win, and we're all putting in the effort to do so. And I think our practice is really translating towards that.
Right, all right. And then, so halfway through the split, going through the second half, there is a couple of big names that you're going to be playing against. So I wanted to run through the matchups that we're going to be seeing and just get your quick thoughts on each one, all right? So first off, next, going up against FlyQuest Challengers.
I mean, I have no thoughts. It's just going to be another game for me. I think this one's more for my ball lane. They're going to have a blast this one. Yeah, I don't have too much to say personally, but just enjoy playing every new game.
Is there any team that you do have some personal thoughts on, or is this going to be a rinse and repeat if I try and run through these?
Just rinse and repeat. I have no like positive or negative opinions right now. I'm just going day to day. I think we already played our hardest matchups anyways, so I doubt we'll lose more than a few games, if any, or if any at all. So I think the hardest matchups we played so far were C9 and CLG, but I think even them, they're beatable.
So then it's just make it through the split, just be playing some good league, scrimming it out until we get into playoffs. And then is there anyone, since you've already think that you've played against the hardest teams, is there then going to be that worry where you're going to be facing off against those teams again now that they've had that split to scrim it out and improve?
No, not at all. I'm not scared. I just want to have a fun game. To me, if they play better, then that's even better for me, in my opinion. I have the most fun when I'm actually challenged.
All right, well, I know that you waited a long time to get into the game, and sure you want to go be with the team and get on with your night, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for sitting down and talking with me, and good luck tomorrow, okay?
Yep. Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you. All right, as for us, we're going to head on back over to the desk just to be wrapping up today's show. I mean, quick one to end it off. I am glad that we got to see a bit more out of Fear going into that second game, though.
I think it was good, some decent moments, but also a 10-game win streak and a 5-series win streak for Dignitas. That's pretty impressive so far. I mean, we only have good things to say about our top dogs, and good to hear Insanity sounding very confident as well. So I know this team likes to have a lot of fun behind the scenes, but I love their mindset too. There's a reason they're sitting at the top of the table. That's the work they're putting in day to day. So I really want to see them continue to prove that on our big stage.
And we have our standings as well. And even just talking about Dignitas, I mean, Insanity, talking about the fact that they've already played against what they consider to be the other top competitors, the ones to be worried about, things kind of free from there on out. And I mean, if that's going to be the case, I mean, they're sitting so pretty, 14-2, and feeling like they have a really light schedule ahead of them.
I mean, I will always be one of those people to say, don't count your chickens before your eggs are hatched, because you still got to deal with these teams. You can't out FlyQuest, you'll suddenly drop a game to them, right? Immortals Challengers, another team that somehow pull off miraculous wins out of nowhere. But I am glad that there were some shouts out, right? CLG Challengers, a team that is towards the bottom, well, middle of the pack at the moment, is a team that we still have to keep our eyes on, even though they are sitting at 10th place at a dead 50%. They are still a strong team, and I think there's going to be a lot of movements from a lot of these teams across the board and how the final standings will shake out.
I'm excited. And this was, of course, only the first day of our weekend, too. So everybody's going to have to make sure to tune in the next couple of days. I love the little... saying the stuff that we can't quite hear.
Oh.
I respect it. Let's go.
I can't, like, block that out through my green screen. Okay, well done, Hawk. They're pretty good. I guess C9 did 2 OTL. Of course, we had 2 banger matches going on to wrap up our day on both streams, and I'm excited to go back through the tape and see how that one happened myself.
Right?
I mean, I kind of just want to rewatch the games that we had.
Yeah, you would want to rewatch game 1 of the second series we had with DLF and IMT.
Bangers today. There's going to be some awesome games tomorrow, especially two Dignitas going off against FlyQuest. That one should be a lot of fun. But we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you guys for being... I was going to say good to work with, but the magical's here, so I'm going to say bearable.
There you go.
Bearable. That's even worse. Oh.
Hey, I'm glad I could derail the stream yet again.
Were we bearable, Sierra? Were we?
How do you just have that there? Like,
my IGN's Cubby for a reason. I mean, I have one that has a Cubs logo on it too, but I don't know how we feel about that. But
you say I'm bad. You say I'm bad, and then we got this guy over here.
Were we bearable? Who are we rating, by the way? Yeah, we can go. Hopefully supports your small stream.
Poor Sierra. I'm just Sierra's over here like, what did I do to deserve this? What kind of punishment
props.
is this?
Just sit. What? I don't.
You think
know.
I don't have props just sitting here, just hanging out nearby like my pirate hat? Come on.
Get us out. Get us out.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks production for being amazing. We'll see you all back here tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah.
For dealing with us.